go on to our quick fire, I just want to leave a little bit of space if there's anything that anyone feels that we've, not brought to our listeners' attention that they wanted to share.
I think when we first started, I thought this was going to be difficult, but I did not realize how hard it was actually going to be to try and satisfy absolutely every aspect of our business. But I also quickly realized that we cannot do that, and there will be lots of gaps of, information. We're not going to satisfy everyone who comes to our website and goes, well, but there's not this section yet. But then it's also up to the community to come to us and sort of say, can you add this in, or could you use this as a topic of discussion? But if I had stayed with that thought, oh my gosh, this is too difficult, I don't know where we're going to go with this, how do we get there, we would never have got to this point that we are at today. So, if people have expectations of us, bear in mind we cannot be everything all at once. We are, at least we've started and we're trying.
Well, ultimately we exist. Well, the transport world is a world that is based around judging, right? Being competitive and judging. Yes. And there's, and that's a
natural human.
Yeah, and it's something that we've got to just be aware of and go, we're doing our best. Yeah. And, people will judge, that you can't stop people judging, but perhaps don't discriminate. Is maybe the thing.
Yeah, give us, at least we're trying, and I think that's actually really important thing to bear in mind. We're going to try our very best.
Yeah, and important, I think, even for you to share that, that 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 it is difficult, and even owning that and saying that in this space, I think is really important. Rather than the people expecting everything all at once. That's not how it works. And so that, and that you have the courage, and I think it's tremendous, that you are stepping into this with a commitment to give it a go and really stand behind the importance of why you think it's needed at the moment in the world. So
I think whenever you create anything, when you create a business, it's a bit like having a baby, right? We're
You can read all the books you like.
Exactly.
That was a waste of time.
Everything is through experience.
And we having to breathe and go through our contractions, and and even when once it's born, it's still still look after.
And the journey.
My baby doesn't do what it says in there. Now what do you do?
And it takes a community to raise a child.
It does.
Right?
It takes a village.
It takes a village.
Absolutely.
And the open door policy, I think, is really beautiful. Please come, please knock on the door.
Very much
please
so.
Just ask.
It is not aligned with anyone. It is not political. It is very independent. It will always be. The independence of this is, sacred. For me, it's like top principle.
So before we fully sweat.
On the hottest week of the summer of 2026. So.
That's the level of our commitment, right?
Yes. Yeah.
We're here.
We're the only one in the podcast studio today.
The only one that was stupid enough to book today.
Andrew.